Hi. So, here we go. Um, I don't think he'd mind being in the background of my video, but I don't know if I've gotten permission from him or not, so I didn't want to include him just in case. So, hi. We are still trying to excavate, clear out this, mountain so we can have the movie theater here instead. Um, we finally got all of the color changes set in place and all of where the two stories needed to go. Um, over here. See, that is a two-story marker. We're still trying to get these houses out of the way because they're definitely in the way. But other than that, we're doing good. We extended the other day. I mean, yesterday. We extended this. This is going to be the road to the lake. Because I was building it, and then I was like, oh, wait a minute. The road to the lake needs to go that way. So I was like, okay, well, gotta put the road to the lake. So I have not built the parking lot over here either. Until I build the parking lot, I'm not going to know where some of the buildings go. But we'll figure it out eventually. Yeah, so we just, and, I already set it up to go on YouTube. We just finished Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. Wheel of Fortune ended up being Night Owls, and I actually had all of the letters. Thought that was wow, Um, I, like you get RSTLN and E. And then I was like, oh, what letter did I pick? Okay, I don't remember what letter I picked. I think I picked a random G just because. And then I'm like, oh, HT. Oh, no, wait, I had the T already. So, but anyway, I figured it out and I was like, yeah. Pretty happy there. And then Jeopardy ended up being Circus. I was feeling pretty dang dumb there for a minute, but this is why I play Jeopardy, so I can get smarter. Like one of these days I'm just going to be able to answer all of the questions and they're not going to get any of the answers ever. But I'm not there yet. Oh boy, I'm going to have to go to the pink house. Okay, so the pink two-story has all the stuff that, we can't. We've got this much stuff, and I'm going to need the mud to go with it. Dang it. Okay, so this water is actually an ad lib. It's not supposed to be there. but I thought it looked really nice, so kept it. The only problem is that, like, if you crash, you're gonna land in water instead. You're gonna have to be very careful when you pull over on the side here. Um, there's enough room to pull over, but you're gonna have to be careful. I forgot where we were going for a second there. Oh, we're probably gonna do some track work today. Um, we're probably also going to do some pathway work because it looks like a lot of the houses don't have one. Oh my goodness. Okay, now I'm wondering, do any of the houses have one? Oh, we're in Ireland. We're supposed to be right here. Um, See, I think it was, I went and looked it up on GOOGLE. So if it, so if it's wrong information, then it's their fault. But I looked it up because one of my books definitely has it to where, um, uh, definitely has it to where they're going from a place that we don't talk about on Minecraft streams. Um, it's a GTA stream subject. But anyway, we're going from that building there to Dustin's house. They're both in Russia. They're fictional Russia because I'm hoping that that first place isn't in Russia, but it's in a lot of places. So, you know, but anyway, they're going from there to Dustin's house, and then they stay at Dustin's house for a little while, and then they're going across Russia to get out, to go out of Russia toward Ireland. Um, and this is not saying anything is wrong with Russia. It's just that the uh section, the building that um Ashley started out in wasn't a good situation for Ashley at the time. And then they went to Dustin's house, and then, they continued on from there. They're trying to get home so she doesn't end back up. Back in the bad situation. Um, Only there's bad guys chasing after them too. So, um, anyway, so one of these days I'm going to have a separate file for that too. I think it just had too much like not too many blocks, just it had too much redstone. I was lighting up everything with redstone. So anyway, oh, we're here for mud. I had a momentary lapse in brain function or something. I don't know. Momentarily I had no idea what we were doing, and so like I said, we're going to put some of this in, but the problem is that I don't know where this ends and nothing begins, so we're just going to follow it and then go to we're going to. So he put test houses in certain places, and I don't. Okay, so I have a magic snowball that's supposed to do houses, but I don't know which one I have. Is it the one facing that way, which is what I had, or is it the one facing that way? I just don't know, so I'm not going to use it. Um, oh, well, I'm glad I decided to do this, aren't I? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, stop that, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Gonna double check that because we have had issues. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yep. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now, the bad news is I'm probably going to have to go and take a bunch of that out and put it back in and, all that. But at least we found that we needed to do so. Okay, so that's 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yep. Well, I think we did pretty good. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So, I know, never assume, but this would be faster. Problem is that I keep playing um, YouTube videos while I'm, to keep the screen on. Um, oh, okay. So me and somebody trying to sell me best viewers are the only ones that have chatted with me today. So that's depressing, but not so bad that's going to ruin my day. Oh, so please go on Amazon and check out my books. I would love it if people would buy my books. I really would. Um, first of all, these are great books. They're awesome. I love them. My cats love them. One of my cats actually can catch typos. He got upset at me though one time because I'm like, I know it sounds bad, but I don't know what to do. And of course, since, he's a cat and he mostly speaks cat-ish, he couldn't help me figure out how to fix it, but he got a little grumpy and hasn't been trying to help me edit anymore. But he can. Um, anyway, I think it's really cool. He also saved me from having cereal with nasty milk in it one time. And he's the one that if Mama's upset, he'll um, he'll let me use him as a teddy bear. Anyway, so we've been working on this pretty hard and heavy. Only problem is that I've got some things to do in Dreamlight Valley also today, so don't know how long we're going to be doing this. So yeah. Oh, if any of you out there pray, my aunt needs some prayers because she's got cancer. She's got some other things going on with her too. Um, like glaucoma, I think it was. Anyway, she's got eye problems, and anyway, she just needs some prayers, please. Um, oh, so I was saying about my books. Let's go back to some pleasanter things. You know how my mind goes. It goes here, it goes there, it goes sing song. Oh, and when these roads doesn't have the sidewalk yet, I don't know where that one is. But anyway, okay, so I was saying about my books. You should find Pirate's Daughter, Misfortune, Hard Times, Esperanza's Party, The Island, and in a separate series, Adopted, and the first book is called Coral, because that was the name of our cat. I figure we're gonna adopt, ton of animals, cats or maybe dogs. We cannot have a dog at all until Sam goes. And it's kind of a, horrible thought, but seriously, we can't have a dog until. He has kittenhood trauma and a very long memory. So it would either be, until he goes or until he gets kitty dementia, but I don't want that to happen. I really don't want that to happen. We had that happen once. I'm a little worried about Ben just because of his age. He's got no health problems. Well, his teeth need to be brushed, but other than that, he's got no health problems. That is a totally different brick entirely than what needs to be there. Or is it a lighting issue? Nope, that was a totally different brick. I think my husband's maybe been here. I don't know. Maybe my son's been here. I know I wouldn't have put that. I don't even have diorite right now. So it has to be somebody else that was on the world, and those are the only two that have been on this world. So it's got to be one or the other, I am guessing. As much as I don't want to accuse them because, why would they do that? But it was definitely a different than what it was supposed to be. Oh, that's another thing we gotta do. We gotta put in some street lights. See, like that. Only problem is that the where I have them looks great. It looks awesome, but the trees kind of take over. So I may have to go and change it. And it leaves the sidewalk to be walked on, instead of having something in the way. Besides the fact that, people in Ireland, fictional Ireland here, they would like to walk their dogs without their dogs being totally stupid. That comes from my grandma had a dog named Heidi. And, say that there's, okay, not there. Say that the light pole is here, on this brick right here. Yeah, you want to walk this way because there's more room. Heidi decided that she was going to walk this way at the same time. So, yeah, and she was one of those dogs that, she's looking at you quite normal, but she definitely looks like she's about to bite your arm off. And, yeah, she wasn't growling or anything, just that was the look on her face, and I go with looks. So, I didn't exactly like Heidi. Um, Grandma also had a dog named Yoda. And I don't know if they named him Yoda from Star Wars, but I just know his name was Yoda. Anyway, when he was a puppy, I think it was, he charged a bull, and I can only assume that he lived to tell the tale because, of course, he was there when, uh, when I was young, so. Um, and then at some point in time, Grandma got Cricket. She was a little three-legged dog. I think she, uh, her leg got ran over by a car or something like that. Anyway, but she always walked around like she had four legs. I mean, she ran around like she had four legs. That pup, that one was not suffering at all whatsoever. Um, when I was about 10 years old, maybe 12. I want to say it was one of the first Christmases that we had together, so I was probably about 10. Anyway, we had a dog named Tessa, and Tessa lived like 12 years or something like that, I think. Only problem is that maybe she was older than that. I don't know. Anyway, we got her in like, 89, 90, 91, something like that. I don't think it was 91. Oh, my sister was still in preschool. I think. I'm pretty sure my sister was still in preschool. So, well, she was still in preschool the first time we went to Disneyland. So, and it really kind of sucked because my dad had a tarantula. Yes, a tarantula as a pet. And I actually freaked out my substitute teacher because I was supposed to bring Spidey. That's what I named my dad's tarantula. Yeah, after Spider-Man. But I named her Spidey. She was a girl, and um, I was supposed to bring my tarantula to school for like show and tell, fourth grade, and something happened, and the teacher wasn't going to be there for the day, so we had a female substitute teacher, and I don't remember her liking Spidey too much. But anyway, I thought that Spidey was so cool. Well, now I don't like spiders. Nothing's changed in the status. Is just, I mean, nothing's changed in like there wasn't an incident where like the spider was crawling on my face or anything like that. And sorry if I just gave anybody a really creepy mental image. Um, it's just things with more legs than me is, I mean, that isn't a dog or a cat. You know, an animal that's supposed to have that many. And I don't like spiders. Ugh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know. Okay. Now comes the annoying part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Helps if you put in the correct thing. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we'll get to the end, and then I think we'll start putting in pathways and stuff. Um, ah, that was kind of a bad stretch with my leg. suddenly wondering something, but I'm not going to bring it up right here. So it turns out that my mom had more money in her bank account than we thought she did. So that was kind of good. But then on the other hand, we're all going to get an odd amount. Because mom had like $500 in her bank account. I mean, 300. Yeah, I'm at 300. Anyway, so it was going to be like we all get $71.20 or something like that. Anyway, it was a really weird amount, and I was like, you know, but the reason why that is, or was it 500? Anyway, yeah, I think it was 500. Thing was though that okay, so my sister, um, you know, she has been talking to these people, and oh, that one's got it already. My sister's been talking to these people, and um, the idea was to give some to me and some to my sister and some to my brother, and then some to um, my niece and nephew. So the thing is, though, that my kids should be included in there too. If we're including the niece and nephew, then we need to include you know my kids. So that is not correct. Anyway, so I kind of insisted, but then I'm like, then I was thinking, but they don't remember their grandma? I mean, like, Ashley probably remembers, but, like, as a very vague, like, very vague, like, she probably doesn't remember much. Oh, yeah, that's something we should probably do. See, I started putting it in the cobblestone because it looked better. And then oh, yeah, that's something else I need. Dang it. Well, I don't need, yeah, I do, never mind. No. Well, okay, the doors can go to the movie theater because that's where we need them. We're using the white door for all these houses. Because that way animals can't get in, and like if there ever was any to spawn, I've double checked it and nothing is turned off about that. Oh, and the carpet too. Um, We're we're getting there on finishing the movie theater. The only thing that's stopping me right now is the fact that the dirt's in the way. You know. Otherwise, I could go and put all that in there and it'd be just fine. I may just leave the stairs in there instead of putting actual chairs. The stairs look a little better, and I could put heads on them so then you could tell where people are supposed to be. And yeah, in my original world that I lost in April of 2024, um, hence why we were. I mean, um, not hence. Hence is a big word, and I don't like using big words on here. Um, that's not what I meant. That is what I meant. That's been happening a lot lately, and I don't know why. Like all of a sudden, I'm breathing into the mic. The mic has not changed, has not moved. Um, I mean, sometimes it has the small problem of okay, that we need. That we need. Oh wait, no, that way. And we need that, and we need that. Okay. So we'll start out with. Okay, we're gonna move this over here. We can figure out the real configuration later. The real way it's supposed to be. Um, there. I don't know why my mouth is suddenly flowing with big words, but oh, the stairs can stay because they're for that part of the build only. Um, okay, so this can go over here for a minute. That can go there for a minute. Okay, so oh, the red can stay too. No. No. Yes. Okay. They have to be in order. Wait, while we're here. So one of the things I was watching yesterday, um, was Brianna Plays video, and they were doing 99 Nights in a Forest, which is supposed to be based on a true story where this airplane was, I don't know if it was a forest or a jungle, but anyway, they were flying over it, and it crashed. Well, like all the grown-ups died, and there's these kids, there's like 4 or 5 of them. Um, I think 4. Anyway, um, and in the game, at least, I don't know if this is in real life or not, but like there's Koala Kid and Dinosaur Kid and Panda Kid or something like that. I don't know. I'm making up stuff. Well, I know there's Dinosaur Kid because he's like the first one that you save usually. Um, yeah, that's the problem. I always want it to be like in the middle, that marquee thing in the middle of the building, and that's not going to work because this is the part that, and I'm going to have to learn how to make that. So I'm probably going to have to look up the TSMC build again. Just make it bigger. Um, it'll make sense later. Um, anyway, I was watching that while I was taking a lot of this out and putting in, the parking lots, and it was like, you know, I was listening to it mostly, but yeah, it's just a fun fact that that's what I was watching. I was also watching, like I said, that one kitty cat family lost their 7-year-old cat recently, and so I was watching. There was like 2 videos from that, and apparently they uh, had her buried in the pet cemetery, which I thought was really cool that they have a pet cemetery. But like, I didn't want. Yeah, I know it's gonna sound weird, but when Coral went, I didn't want to let go, so we had her cremated and put in a urn, and she's up on top of my bookshelf. So that's why, if you hear me, well, that and my tripod. Um, if you hear me squawking at Bobby to get on her side of the barn, that's the reason. I don't want her knocking Coral over, and I definitely don't want her knocking that tripod over because it's the last decent tripod in like all of the world, I think. And like, okay, so the ones at, there may be a photography store still out there, that has a decent tripod, but or online. But if you go and try to buy the one at Walmart, it's this flimsy thing. It's like trying to put your it's like, it's almost like trying to put your camera on spaghetti noodles. I was gonna say on like stork legs, but obviously the stork legs hold up the stork, so I don't know how heavy a stork is, but like is a 16-pound stork? Is it, something smaller than that? I don't know. What was I doing? Oh, I was actually gonna see this, and part of this is where um the burger joint is here, and then over here is the soda fountain, and then like over here is that store that we don't talk about. Yeah. Basically it goes along with the other thing that I was trying not to tell you about. Like telling you about it but not telling you about it. And I'm trying to get really 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 good at that because if I do, then I'll be happy. Um yeah, so um this is a 3 theater movie theater, and Toby if I can do it. I'm pretty sure I can do it, but Toby lives above the theater. So, you've probably noticed that uh, I did this and I did this. Now, what we're gonna do is, I think it was this one. Okay, come on, there you go. I think it's this one, and you go and put that there. It'll make sense in a little bit here. Then you go there. I know that's a wild way to get there, but anyway, there. And then, oh, we don't have room to get that though. Anyway, yeah, we don't have room to get that. I'll have to show you later. Aw, man. Or I could put some things down there and get what I need. But I don't know what I would put because we're not done with trees yet either. Almost, but not there yet. How big is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is half that size. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, no. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that would make that even smaller. Okay, we'll figure something out. Anyway, I want to get a little more of this out of here because, then we can go and build the next room in the theater for one, and for two, this needs to go. Well, we want to be able to build the next room in the theater and the projection room to go with it. And then build the scene inside the room. And put seating and all that stuff, and where you sit. Seating did not sound like the right word, but I think that is. That's so cute. Okay, so the family that just lost her cat, 'cause she had some liver problems and heart problems. So anyway, they've got they got a son, who isn't a cat also. And they've got Chase, who's their fur son, and they got Millie, who's their fur daughter. And, Sky was the one that passed away, unfortunately. And, I felt so bad for them. And, it almost feels like I lost a like a cousin, or, like I lost Coral all over again, something like that. I had a mental connection with these kitty cats, All of a sudden I'm using 3 million times. Sorry. Anyway, I don't know why I decided to make this. I don't know why I decided to make this movie theater red. I just decided it needed to be red and flashy. So, this is another one where I had a dream to tell me what it should look like. Well, several. well, maybe several is not the word, but at least a few, you know. So one of them is uh and it's really weird because I had this dream like I had been there before, kind of, but it wasn't. And it's like, I've never been to this until I started building it, and it's never looked quite right, but I think it'll look good now. I think it'll look perfect now. Um, I, like, I had a, a dream, or at least I had a dream where Sean is on a date with Karen, I think it was, and and all of a sudden Slurpee gets dropped on him from the balcony. But after that, there is no balcony in this theater. So, that's another reason why I'm building this, so I know what it looks like, because, that doesn't really happen in real life. You don't go and have a balcony in one scene, and it's supposed to be the same room, and you just not have a balcony. That doesn't work. It would be like the movie You've Got Mail. It would be like the guy saying, "You need quiet while a hot dog's dancing," and it's like, well, yeah, that's an interesting part of the thing, yeah, the opening credits. But what ended up happening in that scene is that they were gonna watch a movie. Who knows what the movie was, because they walked out, because the boyfriend said something, because I can't remember his name right now, but the boyfriend said something. Oh, I was going to say, I don't remember her name either, but her name is Kathleen Kelly, played by Meg Ryan. But, was his name Frank? I don't know. Can't remember. Okay. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11's here. Where did I get that it was over there? Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh no. And I'm not going to know how far down to go because... Oh, okay. Now I will. Okay. 10. Wait. Is that 10 or 11? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this will be 11. That's important because that's where the wall's going to be to start the next theater room. Which is why we're taking this out in the first place. Yep, right there. Okay. Anyway, if we can get this built, then that'd be great. And then we can move on to the next building and the next building, and yeah, it'd be awesome. Um, and then eventually you can see exactly what I built and exactly how I built it. And do I need the white? Not right now. Oh, that's why I needed the white. Okay. We're gonna put that in there for now. We could probably put that just right on top, but I like to have a foundation for the buildings that I'm building, so yeah, so it feels like they're on solid foundation. Maybe a little silly, but I like it. I don't even remember what movie is playing in this theater. The first one is either Lessons in Love or Test in Love. I think it's Lessons though. Oh, it might be Test. Actually, I don't know. I'm gonna have to find out. Because it said Lessons or Test, and I think we decided it was Test, but I don't know. I really don't remember. But anyway, the scene is that Sean gets recruited because he's got his pilot's license, and when he was younger, he'd use it to get girlfriends. You know, I may not have a driver's license, but I've got a pilot's license. That kind of thing. And anyway, so he doesn't use his pilot's license that much in my books, but he does have it. And I made a note in one of my books because, like, how else would they know how to use a parachute so well? But I made a note that they used to go skydiving, and even though Ashley's afraid of heights, she does like to go skydiving. Um, with Sean. It has to be with Sean. Otherwise she won't go. But yeah. So anyway, yeah, I want to make so I want to make a Dreamlight Valley video today because I've gotten so many memories that I want to show them off. It would have been better to show them on camera, but it took so long to get them. I thought people would get bored, so I decided not to put it on there. But I can do a recap thing and go and say, look, this is what I did. Well, I was just thinking about that. Also, if I explain what certain things mean and you're trying to learn English by watching my videos, then it would probably be very helpful. I try to be as clear as possible when I'm talking on my videos because, first of all, I want y'all to understand me, but, second of all, if you can't understand something, you might stop watching me. And okay, so I don't want that to happen. The only thing is that I seem to be having a standstill at the moment of 478 subscribers, and I would very much like to have more subscribers. Very much. Um, Okay, so probably what we need to do is go back and um is go back to that that first street and make sure that we go and put in every single driveway, every single um every single driveway, make sure, it's got the sidewalk and everything, and I think it does. Not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure it does have everything it's supposed to have. Anyway, and put, everything in place. Oh my goodness, it's going to take forever. It seems like it's going to take forever, you know? Anyway, on YouTube, I've got 478 subscribers. On Twitch right now, I have none. And, I have absolutely zero. I would love to have a lot more. And just in case anybody's wondering, I really don't know any other languages. Well, I know a little bit of Spanish. I used to know how to count to like 5 in German ? But because my grandpa kept saying it, but like I didn't commit it to memory enough to actually know what know what the numbers are now. Except for that, I think 9 was no in German, and I think it's German. I think it's no, and in English, it's a number. So, I actually don't know if this room is supposed to be black like that or not. I don't know what scene I put in there. I think I went with the scene from Pirate's Daughter. That's gonna be this one over here. And then I think I went with the scene from Misfortune. And then there's that airplane scene. Okay, so, oh, I was going to explain that to you and I didn't bother, so hold on a sec. Okay, so Sean was flying the plane. He was, well, Sean was probably here since he was the main pilot, and then Ben is over here because you can't see this part of the plane. Well, you probably could see that part of the plane, but they like it if it was a movie, because that's the way I'm thinking of it. If it was a movie, they would have zoomed in. So now Sean is being held right here. He's being made to sit down right there, and he got up to stretch, but he's we'll say Sean's right there, and there's a bad guy here and a bad guy here with guns to his head or something. Anyway, and they tie him up. Then, wait. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we'll put a chair there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so, wait, 1, 2, 3. Okay, every time I do that, it makes me it makes me think of there's no place like home. There's no place like home. Just lately, though. I don't know why. So weird. That's a bathroom back there. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not right. Oh, we'll figure that out. Okay, anyway. So, Adam is either sitting here or here with his duffel bag next to him. And then, depending on... Yeah, I think Adam's sitting here. And his duffel bag's sitting next to him. And Sean's grandparents are back here somewhere. Can't think of their names right now. I cannot think of their names in the least. Yeah. I don't know. I think one of them's name is Lorna, but I have no idea. Something like that. Anyway. And then there's a few other people sitting in, a few other seats. Anyway, Sean, like I said, was the pilot. So he was sitting here. But then the bad guy decides he's going to sit here and not fly the plane because Ben is flying the plane. He's in the military and he's supposed to be going to Texas. So they make him parachute down to the gate. That's what it's called. The gate. They make him parachute down to the gate and yeah, this is probably what I'm going to change that to. Speaking of that, you know how it's got the hole in it? I'm probably going to change that screen from white to black, even though it's usually a white screen before the movie starts. So I'm trying to get to where all the projection rooms are connected. Okay. Well, then that doesn't go there, does it? Anyway, we'll get it all done. And it'll be great. Technically, I could just stop. I think I could just stop right behind. I mean, right where the red, I could probably stop right here. But it all has to go anyway, so. Well, at least this way I feel like I'm getting something accomplished. Anyway, so there's this one dream that I had, like I said, Ashley's 10 years old, I think, and Sean was out on a date with some girl, and, because he's 11, and Ashley purposely dropped her Slurpee slushy. Well, probably not slushy. Um, the ones that you can get at 7-Eleven. Um, anyway, well, I mean, you can get it at other places too. You used to be able to get them at Target in the food court, but theirs were kind of scary. Like you would go and pour it into, uh, you'd go and have it pour into the cup, and then you sit there for a minute and it grows. It was really weird. It wasn't a creepy Halloween time thing. It was just, it grows. So, I'd fill it up so far and then put the lid on and make sure, well, if I hadn't already put the lid on. Usually I try to put the lid on first and then fill it up. But anyway, good times. Me and my daughter got to go and do that every once in a while, and it was nice. Yeah, part of the reason why I'm asking people to subscribe is that it's a potential to start making some money because we don't have jobs in the house right now, and I would like this to be my job. I would like book writing to be my job. I'm trying so hard to do something that I know I can do, Just trying so hard, and it doesn't seem to be working, and I'm getting worried that we're going to lose the house. I don't want to lose the house. We finally got a house, and I want to keep it. I'd like to, I'd like to get it to where I could buy the house back for somebody else who I know just lost theirs. To where it's paid off, and if they pay us back, cool, and if they don't, that's cool too, I would like to set it up to where they'd pay us back, but so I could do a good deed for somebody else. I would like to go and, I would like to, have a plot of land that has a bunch of tiny homes on it, or, actually, a bunch of houses, and, I'm getting, it would be a rent-to-own thing. A really rent-to-own thing. And no balloon payments, and, whatever you can afford a month. And I know I'd probably go broke, but that's what I want to do. Not the go broke part, but the, helping people out. Because it really sucks when you have to rent an apartment and you know that you are spending way more than you would have ever spent on your mortgage for a dang rental. It's like we spent how much money renting a house for how many years, and if we had that all back, our house would probably be paid off. Or at least dang well near. Anyway, um, so please check out my books on Amazon. I'd love it if people would start buying them. I really would. You know, so then I'm, I will feel like I am spreading joy by people reading my books because, like I said, I love the books that I write. My cats love the books that I write, and um, my sister read one. She likes them, and my niece is probably not going to be allowed to read them until she's 18 and over and can make her own decision. I don't know, but um, I was gonna say my sister's daughter, but on the other hand, okay, so I've got three nieces and my daughter. Three? Okay. K. K. That is funny. Yeah, KK and M. Yeah. Okay, I got three nieces. I think that's kind of funny because two of my nieces start with a K. Wow. Two of my nieces start with a K. Okay, so no, that's that room. And then there's that. Okay, so one more here. There. And Toby, that's the owner of the movie theater here. Toby, he plays some stuff from DVDs too. And we're just going to pretend he actually has a license to do that. One of the nights that Jesse wants, was it Jesse wants to take Chantel out, or was it? Well, anyway, somebody wants to take their wife or girlfriend out, and it's TV shows. So like Hogan's Heroes and Dick Van Dyke Show and maybe Heart to Heart and yeah. Um, one, two. Okay, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I just want to make sure that was the pattern here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think one of the shows I alluded to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, because I don't actually put the title of the show. I put, like that old military show where they're captured in a concentration camp or something like that, I say something like that instead of saying Hogan's Heroes. And, because I don't know if I'm allowed to say Hogan's Heroes. That's a classic TV show, and I just don't know what I can get away with on that one. So just in case, don't want to get in trouble with the Hogan's Heroes people, so I didn't put the name, I just alluded to it. I said it without saying it. That's how I can put it. I said it without saying it. So, But another one of the TV shows that is on that same night is a TV show called Initial D. And I said something like that anime street racing show. But it's got to be the one from 2010 because that's the animated one that I love. And I'm only missing season 5. I'm very bummed that I'm missing season 5 because, they started a budding romance between Takumi and Natsuki, and then all of a sudden, I don't have season 4, so I can't tell if they got together or not. I can't tell if, they made, if they made street racing babies or if, like he had to quit to help raise a baby. And I'm just saying. Um, or if he like totally ditched her and said street racing's my thing and go away, woman. He wouldn't have said woman, but uh you know I don't know what happened. She went off to college, I know that, but I just don't know what happened. And it's like I would like to go and for my own happiness, I'd like to go and write season 5 for myself, but season 5's already written. I just don't have it. So I wish that they would bring it back out on DVD for Americans in English because I want to find out what happens. I love that show. That's the kind of thing where I'll go and put that on. Um, but that's why Sean and Jesse end up being street racers. But anyway, well, that and Fast and Furious. It's like I wasn't expecting it to actually go in that direction, but then it was like, okay, two guys that live in Ireland with Russian in their genes, GENES, and people aren't going to be expecting them to be like the world's greatest street racers. And like in one of the books, I'm going to have them like walk up to the in Batman and Robin, she called him the banker. I don't know if that's what you call it in real life. She's like, "Hey banker, how much coin to play?" or something like that. And she comes up with the money. They didn't think girls had money or something like that. And then it wasn't a male female thing. It was just they're looking at her and going, yeah, right, like she's got money. But that's what she had. That oddly enough was the same actress who played Cher on Clueless. What was I gonna do? Oh, I think I was gonna do this. If not, that's what I'm doing now. Yeah, so I said we're going to do this, and I said we're going to do that, and we haven't done the driveway thing yet. Okay, so we need to do at least a few houses with the driveway. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. We do not leave dirt because you put carpet on dirt and it, gets all nasty and gross. I'm a author, so I have to think about these things. would it get all nasty and gross? Because we don't have magic powers in uh, fictional Ireland. We just have, what you would normally have in everyday life. So, oh, one of my books, um, I decided that Hayden had had too many close calls. Getting broken by bad guys seemingly every other day, and a leg here, an arm there, stuff like that. And I just decided, okay, we're not gonna kill him off. I can't do that. That's not okay. Um, but I did. Oh, I don't even remember what was going on, but I remember the mast fell, and it was about to fall on Morgan, and if it had, it would have killed her. But I kill her in a much more mundane way. She dies of old age. um, there may be something more to that. I don't know yet. But, but, yeah. Anyway, anyway, um, he goes and jumps into the way and pushes her out of the way, and he falls in just such a way that the mast is pinning him down, face first into the deck. Well, they're like all trying to figure this out. Well, they finally get the mast off of him. I think by rolling it off into the water, something like that. And so they don't know exactly what's going on internally or anything like that, but they get him to the infirmary, and Alan says, I checked it 60 billion different ways. Talked to Oliver, talked to Paige, the other doctors. And, he even talked to his wife, Kelly, who's also got her PhD at that point. And he's definitely paralyzed from the waist down. He can't walk. So he's in a wheelchair. Well, then later, I decided that, Ashley's pregnant with 6 babies, and I decided that one of the babies, he's paralyzed from the waist down. Well, I mean, it's more of his legs just don't work. He's not really, he's not paralyzed, it just don't work. So, like, all the other babies are kind of kicking and moving around and stuff, and he's not. So, he ends up in a wheelchair. And so, Hayden said at some point in the first book that... So, did they call you to go bye-bye yet? Or... Huh. Yay! He thinks he found a way to register our truck because, the truck registration is up. And, of course, the hacker decided to be a pretty princess and, I need it now. Whatever the thing was. I'm assuming that he got his license revoked or something like that. He's like a hacker and he was being Mr. Mild-mannered hacker. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, you're not going to renew my license? And, wreaked havoc. I'm making up stuff. I'm assuming that that's what happened. I have no idea. But it sounds like a really good plan for. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, so it sounds like a really good plan for a story now that I think about it. And like Sean and Jesse and, all the members of the mansion are their only hope to get things back to correct again, you know. That'd be kind of neat. It would probably just be a little section in one of the books, but I think it'd be neat. I had the idea that Sean gets recruited as a DMV teacher. Makes sense. He's been driving forever. But it can't happen until Danny takes over as um, sheriff or whatever. I just thought of that. I did not put that. I don't think I did anyway. I don't think I put that. Uh, I really don't think that I put that Jeremy was sheriff. I just put that he was like the head cop guy. Hmm. I don't know. I didn't even think about that. Oh, wait, okay, so I always think of it as Roscoe and Enos, where Roscoe is the sheriff. Oh, on the Dukes of Hazzard. Show that started in the 70s and played throughout most of the 80s. I used to love that show. Well, I still do. I can't say I used to. Um, I would watch that while I was doing my homework. I loved it. I still do. Like I said, there's just something about those shows where they, they've got the hometown feel and they're a real family. You can tell that. It's like that in Blue Bloods. I mean, I know Blue Bloods is more of a cop detective show kind of, and it's got reality stuff in it, but still they eat dinner with each other every Sunday night. I love that. Um, yeah, so it looks like we're going to be doing this instead of the. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to find some time to do something on those pathways. I mean, really, that's a little detail. It's a tiny detail, but it will make all the difference. It's like, really the everything else is set up, the doors and everything. Not the doors themselves, but the doorways. That's all set up and ready to go. All I have to do is go in and put in the doors and we're good. But yeah, the driveways and pathways and stuff need to be put in, and it's kind of annoying that they're not there already. The idea was to go and put them in to where they'd have all that already. And I started doing that and just stopped because it was just getting to be a little too much at that moment. Again, don't know if this is actually a dark scene or what. I know that um usually I build the kidnap scene from Pirate's Daughter, and actually no, I was gonna fill that in to where it had the roof and everything, and then I was like, no, I don't think I should do that. In case you're wondering what the heck, because yeah, I don't know where I was seeing that thing where it said that uh like Germany was on the list and just a tiny bit of America was on the list, if I remember correctly. Anyway, it was really neat. I can't remember where I saw that, and I wish I could find it again. That might have been on YouTube, but I liked seeing that. That was really neat. Of course, the videos that get the most views are my Disneyland ones. If I could download, seriously, if I could download every single one of those videos, because I don't know where the heck they are. They're probably on an external somewhere. But if I could download every single one of those videos and like break some of it up, so like you're seeing every little, I mean, like you're seeing every piece of my America Sings video as individual little scenes. I think that would be kind of cool. I don't know if the audience would like it though. I just go and put all the rides in as one thing, and I mean as one video, and they're getting a lot of views, but I can't afford to go back again. So yeah, like this thing about my books. Um, I'm thinking that, most people just donate money, right? And they do the subscription thing, and they get the praise of the person that's streaming or making videos, and they donated money for no other reason than to get that praise. Well, I'm trying to get you to buy a really nice product and get the praise. Um, yeah, like I keep saying, I put my heart, soul, well, part of my soul anyway. Um, Most of it belongs to God. But yeah, I put like my heart and tears, and I know it sounds a little gross, but probably a little bit of blood, because like, when I first started, I probably got paper cuts writing books, but um or like all of a sudden you're sitting there typing, and you feel something on one of your fingers, and you find out you got a hangnail. And it's like, why do I have a hangnail? And of course you pull that because even though the nail clippers are right next to you, you don't bother using them. You just, yeah. Anyway. This way, you get something too. Um, and you might find out that you like my books. You might want to tell your friend about it. And then your friend might read my book and then find out that they like my books, and they'll tell a different friend about it. And then all of a sudden it'll be snowballing and I won't have to worry about, where our next meal's coming from or where we're going to live next year. Because right now I'm a little worried. I do not want to live at my mother-in-law's again. Although they did get the seatbelts fixed, so that's awesome. If I had to go and be their driver again, then I could do so confidently and not have too much trouble. Although I don't drive very often, so my driving gets a little not as practiced. I don't want to say it gets sloppy or anything. It just gets a little funky. Just it gets a little weird. So yeah, we got 9 minutes left. I still don't have this out. I wanted to get some of the driveways done, and I wanted to get this building figured out, but having to take this mountain out like this, because I appreciate Squibs' help, but he said he was going to take this out, and he didn't do it, and he said he was going to take this out, and he didn't do it, So here I am having to take it out, and it's a little boring, but it's very satisfying all at the same time. Okay, I know I said this around the 16-minute mark, but if you're watching me on Twitch right now, please follow, chat. I would love a chatter. And subscribe. I would love some subscriptions too. Some subscribers. I mean, subscribers. I'm having a hard time talking today. Which was a big problem when we were doing Jeopardy, but there's a lot of talking involved in Jeopardy because I am the Alex Trebek or what's her name? She played Blossom in the TV show Blossom. She played on Big Bang Theory. And literally, I did not see her in anything between there. I'm sure she was, but I don't remember her being there. Hold on, let's find out. Hey Google, who played the character Blossom on the TV show Blossom? Blossom Russo was played by Mayim Bialik. Oh, well, that says Mayim Bialik. I probably just butchered her name too. I don't think that's how it's pronounced, but that's her name. Last I checked, she was doing Jeopardy, but I think there was a guy in there. I mean, a different guy in there at one point too. Anyway, I don't know who's doing Jeopardy now, and I don't know if they're still doing Wheel of Fortune. I always wanted to go on Wheel of Fortune. I don't think I could do the wheel though. I'd have to have my husband do the wheel for me. I've got bad wrist. That's something on the video game that I'm a little upset about. It's not true to life on the it's not true to life on the spinning of the wheel because if it was, then you would have to uh, you'd have to spin the wheel again if it didn't go around all the way. And I've noticed that um, the two AI players, they sometimes don't get it around all the way, and it doesn't do what it's supposed. Like they'll land on say 300, and they'll be able to um, they'll be able to guess a letter, but it's not really fair. Okay, so we're gonna go over here. Yeah, we got 4 minutes. Okay, first of all, we need to find out what's in that other room. Or is it this room? The other room. Okay, we gotta figure out what's in this room. And leave ourselves a note to say what. I put the note up. Yay. Yeah, we need to do the mud thing. Okay. We can put up... What can we put up? Well, we cannot put up the... Well, we can put up the red for now. What were we looking for? What was I looking for? Oh, I was looking for this. Yeah, okay. So this is the first theater. Like I said, Adam's sitting, like, right there, and he's tied to the chair. And, the grandparents are tied to the chair, and a few other people. And like I said, Ben is flying the plane. And Sean's tied up there, and those are bad guys. Then in this one, what is going on here? I don't remember. Oh, it was the wrong button. Okay, so that was map it out. I'm gonna have to take that out eventually. Pirate's daughter. Oh, okay, so we didn't even finish over here. But there's gonna be 2 yachts. This one's Morgan's yacht. And, she's got, like, TV. I mean, a dresser with a TV, with the laptop on top. And, at one point, like, Hayden's sleeping in the middle, Morgan's over here, and Jake's over here, something like that. And Jake saw that there was Dang, I thought that was finished. Then what's this one? No idea. Okay. Wow. Okay, so Power's Daughter is playing in the second theater. Lessons or Test in Love is playing in the third theater. And we don't know what movie is playing in this theater. But since it's grass, we could put the movie Grease in here. We've done that before. I love the movie Grease. It's one of my favorites in the whole entire world. Literally, I was born the same week it came out in theaters. Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. Okay, so we got to put in trees, right? But in this, in this case, we're not going to put in trees the way we have them here, where the weird trees are across from these buildings. That's what the front's supposed to look like. It's going to look awesome. Except for that, that's supposed to be... Oh, well, okay, fine. Anyway, that's supposed to be red. Anyway, this is the way it's gonna look, and I think it looks yeah. I think it looks pretty awesome. So, yeah. Yeah, okay, so we have Toby's Movie Theater, the burger joint, soda fountain, store that we don't talk about on Minecraft streams, the store that we can talk about on Thursdays when we're playing GTA. Then we got the hotel. Notice it looks mysteriously like the mansion, but yeah. Then we have the parking garage that we decided to come up with for the mansion. And the bank. The post office. The swimsuit shop with literal water windows. The preschool. There's a lot more stuff that we need to build. See, none of these had houses. So long. Elementary school. And the civic center. Which is mostly important because there's a wine tasting in this part of the building right here. Okay, so there's a wine tasting here. And this is the men's restroom that Sean goes in. And this is a paper towel, where you get the paper towels from. You wash your hands here. And, you go over here. Well, he comes out of the stall, goes over here, washes his hands, and then he's getting this paper towel. And all of a sudden, he feels this prick in his neck. And he passes out, and the bad guy drags him down this hallway. How he wasn't seen, I'll never know. But anyway, drags him down this hallway. Through here. And puts him right there. Well, then somehow he gets him. That's water. Anyway, somehow he gets him from there. I decided he had a car as soon as I figured out how far the um, hotel was. Come on. Okay. There, now we're going a little faster. Anyway, he drags him to his third floor room. Well, his room is on the fifth floor, I think. No. Yeah, his room's on the fifth floor, so he takes Sean to the fifth floor. Well, then he makes him pass out again and brings him to the third floor where his room is. He's in 323. Anyway, we gotta go back over there. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I want to show you that. See, those come on automatically. This is so cool. I love it. There's a lot of rooms where I'm probably going to need sea lanterns instead of redstone. Because I got so sad. I was crying. And there was nothing my husband could do about it. And get off my desk! Thank you. Oh, this is the middle school. I don't know what you would call it in one of those countries where you got elementary school and then secondary school. I'm just not sure what you would call it. The banana split ice cream shop, that's supposed to be a banana split. You know, like that's the banana, that's strawberry, vanilla, chocolate, you know. That's the hardware store. Don't ask me what this one is. Oh, the bookstore. Okay. And the fancy restaurant. You'll notice the fancy restaurant has fountains. I'll show you from the inside. It'll look better, I think. Yeah, that's all I called it, was the fancy restaurant. Anyway, see? That's a fountain. Oh, I'm showing some of my pirate magic in there, but yeah, it's okay. Yeah, so this would probably be flowing and annoying people, making them have to go use the facilities. But anyway, that's a restroom. That's a restroom. But then it's got a bird sanctuary. It's got trees, and it looks like it just opens up into the it looks like it just opens up into the air, but I'll show you a bit of pirate magic now. See? They're not going nowhere. Had to go there. I don't know what we were using this for, so... Oh! Okay. Do the lights turn on? I assume the lights turn on. Oh, apparently I should not have assumed. 'Cause I don't see a lever anywhere. Huh. Okay. Fine then. it's set up for lights. It's just they're not. Wow. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to fix that, aren't we? Anyway, then we have the TV station. That right there is a TSMC hyphen Minecraft build. And I just thought it was so awesome. He said it was a radio station. I decided it was a TV station. And I also decided to use pirate magic to make that ladder actually look like a ladder. I will show you what I did to do that. But it looks so much cooler like that. You know, because a real ladder, that's what it does. So, yeah. I mean, I could have put it up here and then made the person walk over here and gone here and gone here. That's probably what they, and then gone here. That's probably what they do in real life, but I don't know. Anyway, this is a representation of the high school that that me and my husband went to. It's called Fairfield High School in Fairfield, California. Yeah, it's based on, but it's not absolute because, you know, they could angle stuff and we can't, but it looks pretty good. There's portables. The portables were actually higher than that, but and separate. um oh, this is a random bathroom I put in here. And the reason why the random bathroom got put in here is because what was I supposed to do with this space? There's not supposed to be grass there. The band room. This is the pum room. You know, the band cheerleaders. This is Mr. Campbell's well, it's Mr. Campbell's office, but this is Mr. Campbell's desk. Obviously, there's no desk there. This is Mrs. Sparrow's desk. And up here there was no, there wasn't just files. There was like, you know, like there would be patches that say Fairfield High School or bumper stickers that say my band kid can beat up your math kid or something like that. You know, I don't know. There was something over. Well, there was chairs over here. I usually sat in this one. Look, see, you can sit. Anyway, I usually sat in this one. I was supposed to be getting his mail and then sitting down, but it didn't work that way half the time because I'm scatterbrained. Those are all of the trophies that they got for winning the band shows, and that is what we're using as trophies because that's what it looked like to me. And then I found out that I couldn't just stick those to the wall, so I had to put them in item frames. But anyway, the in the 90s. Oh yeah. Okay, you were going to school in the 90s a little bit. Um, yeah, my husband said that the band in the 90s was undying. So that works. The locker room, I mean, the lockers are here because I think my husband had like my husband had this locker and the jerk that had this locker would always mess with him. And I know exactly what the guy's name was, too. But I'm not going to give him a shout out. I'm hoping he's nicer than that now. Sheets of music. Practice room. That I may have made up, but I'm not sure. Practice room. Practice room. So, like, if you're, like, say, I don't think that they would have done Flight of the Bumblebee, but, say they were trying to learn Flight of the Bumblebee and one of the... Is that a tuba song?
No, not normally.
What is it normally?
Flute and a piccolo.
Okay, so normally it's a flute and a piccolo. So let's say one of the piccolo people didn't quite learn their notes correctly yet. You can go into the practice room and learn them better. There was a doorbell,
So nobody hears but you.
and that way nobody hears about you. But I think that would be confusing
Why?
because you're going from or whatever. That was a totally different tune. Sorry about that. I can't remember Flight of the Bumblebee right now, but we'll go with it. Anyway, to this big band playing it, and I don't know.
You gotta remember your part in order to be able to be part of the big band.
Oh, and this is where Mr. Campbell or Miss Jacob stood to. You know what? It's really hard to get up on a platform when you ain't got no stairs. There. Well, he says it didn't have stairs, but I'm thinking that Miss Jacob would have a hard time because she was short like me.
Maybe 4 Minecraft squares, but not that many. You went overkill.
Anyway, I remember it being a big thing. Not that big, but anyway, this is a swimming pool. The cool thing about the swimming pool is that it goes down gradually. I thought yeah. Okay, see, it goes down gradually, and usually I have it go down to 12, but I don't know what that is right there. What is that? 1, 2, 2. Okay. Well, it was above the guy's head. And then we have the 2 art rooms. That was not Mrs. Grokenberger. Mrs. Grokenberger was in one of the classrooms over there as the choir teacher. And I may be saying her name wrong. I think I'm saying it correctly, but I may be saying it wrong. Anyway, this teacher, her brother-in-law used to do the art for Duckman, I think it was. It was on late at night, after my bedtime. Anyway, and she was in this classroom, and then that was a different art teacher. And then there's the ROTC classrooms, the where you learn how to be, military peoples. And then some other classrooms. That one specifically, photography classroom. I mean, that's the photography classroom, and that was the dark room to develop film. Oh my goodness! Actually, I think that would have been over here, but I think that would have been down this corridor actually, but I put it over there. Then that one was a science classroom. Oh, that's the other thing. So if that was photography, then this was Earth and space science, something like that. I took that too. And I think this was the computer classrooms. And then that's the math classroom. And then I didn't know where to put the auto shop, so that's this right here. And we had tennis courts. And then there was the football field. I think I did the football field pretty good, except for that, this doesn't make sense here, but anyway. Um, yeah, that's the track around the football field that you run on, because of course you got to know how to run. The only thing I could think of that you would need running for in my line of business is like trying to if you're trying to do some research for a book and like you're in tiger country and one's chasing you. But I don't do my research for books that way, so I go on GOOGLE. Anyway, so you'll notice that there's a lot of chairs. Oh, I didn't finish, huh? These were getting annoying to put in, actually. Getting very annoying. They don't like to go in straight. They just like to do what they want to do. Anyway, so notice there's a bunch of chairs. That's to represent the bleachers. And yeah, I thought this looked really good. If we wait here long enough, those lights will turn on by themselves too. They all do, all the street lights do. Um, and a firehouse. And the impound yard, that's important. Because Sean and Jesse get their cars put in impound a few times. One of the times they are going to try to go to the impound and it's not going to work, and they're going to end up getting put in um, there's nobody there to give the money to. So they end up going over here. There's no Jeremy and Hamish. Although at that point it might be. No, it was before that. Okay. So I was going to say it might have been Danny, but I don't think so. Anyway, so they end up just saying that that's a way to get into the impound. Um, they end up. That's another good reason why I did this, because watch. You go down like 4 stairs, and there's this way too short corridor. This is claustrophobic. This is making me, you know, I don't like it. But anyway, Ashley gets put in one cell, and yeah, maybe it was down here, whatever. And in one of the cells, they have put a no, maybe it was Sean got put in this cell and Jesse got put in this cell, something like that. They're back to back. I think it's something like that. Anyway, and this is the bathroom, and I think this is supposed to be the kitchen, but I never put anything in there. Yeah, we were supposed to end this 24 minutes ago. So, our answer is Pirate's Daughter. But yeah, see, all of this stuff, this is basically what it's going to look like when it's done. Okay. Let's try this again. just doesn't seem to be going fast. I don't know if it's because I've got vast stuff, like I got so much stuff that I am going fast, it just doesn't feel like it, or what? Anyway, the Civic Center is literally only important because of the wine tasting. And the wine tasting is a bad situation because, like I said, Sean takes one drink of one wine and then he has to go to the bathroom. Well, like I said, he went in and did what he needed to do. And then he comes out, he washes his hands, he dries his hands, feels that prick in his neck, and then somebody that looks a lot like Sean comes out and Ashley thinks it is Sean, but Ashley knows in her heart of hearts that it's not Sean. But she just can't figure out what's going on because it's not Jesse either. And she knows this. So yeah, that's why the water needed to be there because it's gonna be a tunnel underneath the road. Oh, well, that's not very big, is it? Anyway, it's gonna be a tunnel underneath the road and it's gonna let out into here. And that's because I had the hill, this hill right here. I had a hill just like it over here, and then I was like, that doesn't work. And this time I actually need to make that hill first and then put it in the water. Anyway, I tried to put in some flowers for the bees, but they don't seem to be interested, and I don't understand why. Um, I showed you some of this before. I'll show you that uh, again maybe next time, I'm not sure. This is the Submarine Sandwich Shop, and you'll notice it looks a lot like another sandwich shop that doesn't have gluten-free bread. This is a Chinese food restaurant. It's basically a Panda Express. Um, the one in the next town over, though, it's going to have um, it was called the Great China Restaurant. It's going to have a nice sit-down restaurant. It was also in Fairfield, California. I don't know if it's there anymore. Because, like, my brother said that they changed chefs and they just didn't taste the same anymore. And it's like, you really need that, uh, you really need that chef to give it its flavor, apparently. And yeah, that's where you go and pay the guy the $5. Oh, that's what's missing. Kinda. What? No, because they usually put it in a lockbox kind of thing. But sometimes they have like a railroad crossing thing, and it gets lifted when you pay your $5. Um, outdoor potty, outdoor bathroom. There's gonna be a lot more of this next time I build this. This is a lake. You'll notice I am literally on the ground right now. I am literally on the ground. I mean, on the floor of the lake. Yeah, this is a huge lake. Somewhere out there is or is supposed to be okay, there we go. Island that, okay, so Sean and, no, wait, was it Sean? Yeah, I think it's Sean and, um, Sam Crenshaw swim from way over there to way over here, and it doesn't look quite this far away normally. Anyway, I think I'll make it a little closer. And then there's just a bunch of grass. But let's go back that way, because otherwise I'll be freaking out, going, where the heck am I? You know, this coming from the person who got lost in her own map one time. More than once. Definitely more than once. But, but the one time I was literally lost for 4 days going in a certain direction, and then I was like, you know what? I was faced, I was either faced away from or toward the sun, the moon, whichever one it was, and I finally, figured it out the one time. And then another time, my husband had to log on to the world. He spawned in a spot where there was stuff. I think he spawned out there um, by the fancy restaurant, and he was able to teleport me to him so that I wasn't lost anymore. I was like freaking out. This is a hospital. I'm going to try to build it better next time. I don't like the way it's built right now. This is the college. No, wait. No, I'm sorry. That's the college. I'm going to try to build it better next time. It looks nice, but not as nice as it could be. This is the hospital. Notice I used the same design as the mansion, but I'm trying to fit it into what I need it to be. The only problem is I cannot figure out where the heck a waiting room would be in that thing, so I got to build it better next time. There's the movie theater again, what we were working on. This is a bad attempt at apartments because they weren't turning out the way I wanted them to. No, that's the other end of the hospital. Bad attempt at apartments. The gas station, the car dealership, and then, yeah, that's just not the way it's supposed to be. But I liked I liked the design with the water more than I liked the design without the water. So the water one. Up at the top of that mountain is another mansion. Um, but it's got like huge. It's got huge rooms. At least on the bottom floor. Anyway, I always build it a little weird because it's like a small mansion, not a big, huge one like for my pirates. So I don't know. If you're noticing the notes over here, I was trying to count out how many spaces we're at. This is Penelope's diner. This is what it's supposed to look like. I'm pretty sure I built it different than that. And that's the gas station. And you're probably wondering why I don't just use this one because it doesn't have enough space underneath so I can build things correctly. Spy Biz. Um, that's like a James Bond. It's like a James Bond building, and see if I could build this better. Then I could build a underground floor and like an maybe an underground city even. You know, have it all like that. These are two random factories. I have no idea what they were because they were in my dream and they were just there. I don't know. This I'm gonna try to build even better next time. Like I like the way it's built. It's just where it is isn't quite right because I forgot about the shooting range. It needed to come first. Anyway, this is in paintball field. This is a paintball field, and notice there's 4 towers that you can go to and shoot people from up here instead of down there. You can climb a tree. You can hide behind the tree and shoot your boyfriend in sensitive areas. That's something that happens in that one. And then this one is the airsoft field. Same idea, same concept. It doesn't have as many details at the moment. It's going to. It just doesn't at the moment. Um, then that's a pirate store. Notice it looks like a pirate ship. I just decided that that was a pretty cool concept, and yeah, so it ended up being a pirate ship. Um, what else? Okay, so I put the shooting range over here. Um, Connor works here with Mickey question mark? I can't remember. Yeah. Okay, he said yeah. Yeah, well I can never remember what I named anybody, so that's not really true. But anyway, Connor works here and Mickey's the guy who owns the place and Ashley and Johnny go back here. Well, while they were still over here, Johnny pushes Ashley and she hits her head. But they go over here and she goes, it might be here. Yeah, here. She goes and pulls that target up as far as it will come forward. And she goes and puts her um she's got a piece of paper where she's drawn Johnny's picture on there. Head to toe. And she goes and shoots that target and he's very appalled of where she shot him on that target. And somewhere in there she bounces off of here too. And like in this room, Johnny punches her or something like that. I can't remember all the details. Anyway, so her safety glasses actually flew off. And anyway, Connor's got to go and pick her up and bring her over here. Well, Mickey has promised that he's going to give Connor some money so he can take her home. And Johnny gets punched out cold and dragged out here to his motorcycle. Notice there's no parking in here. That's what's missing. I was always wondering what the heck is missing here. Duh, parking. Oh my goodness. Anyway, everybody needs to remind me. Anyway, and then this over here. Oh, wait a minute. This is the Chinese food restaurant I was talking about. It's just called Chinese restaurant. Now, part of the reason why I made a Chinese restaurant is because I like Chinese food. Another part is probably because of the song Chinese Restaurant by Baltimore. And then, oh, there was another reason. I can't think of what. Anyway, And then this is the high school. It's supposed to be all indoors. I've been screwing up on that, but messing up. But yeah, it's supposed to be all indoors. But look, it's got a classroom. It's gonna have lights all around, so when you're going to school at night. But most people don't, so skylights are a good idea. Um, anyway, plenty of light to learn by. I know most people don't want to go to school, but yeah. So anyway, it's supposed to look like it's supposed to look like the high school in the other town. I mean, well, we call this one the next town over. We call the other one town. So the high school in town, that's supposed to look like the same exact thing, but indoors. How the heck I'm supposed to do that, I don't know. Um, and okay, and then we got the pirate store. This is the. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, this was actually supposed to be on. This and Spy Biz are actually supposed to be on that side of the street, but something had to go over here. Anyway, the bar in the next town over. That's basically what it's called. This is important because there's a table here, a table here, a table here, and a table here, and they're having Raphael's bachelor party. Well, all he has is 2 beers, but his father-in-law is in town and has called the police that an Italian young man, about 21 years old, is going to be driving home and he's been drinking. And that's all he tells Jeremy in the text message. Jeremy. I keep saying Jeremy, like, germs. But that's because that's the way I heard it when I was a kid. I just got used to it. But it's Jeremy. But anyway, whatever his name is. Um, that's all he sends in the text message. Well, uh, they drive home, and Raphael, when he gets tired, cannot speak English. He only speaks Italian, so there's problem one. And then he doesn't really understand English, so there's problem under two. If he gets, I mean, number two, when uh, did I label this? Oh, good. Scott and Melanie's house. This is an interesting house. See, there's a bedroom here. That's not Scott and Melanie's, but there's a bedroom here too. Then there's a nice couch in front of a roaring fireplace. It's nice. And then over here is the kitchen. Yes, you're seeing that the smoke go up. It would normally be going, outside, but we can't do that. Then there's men's and women's bathroom.
Name for your next town over. Grab your glasses, silly.
Is that in Gaelic?
It's in Irish. So I guess Gaelic, yeah.
Gaelic is Irish.
Well, I
Silly.
guess.
Okay, anyway.
Google Translate listed in Irish.
Well, Google Translate needs to reset their little marbles, don't they? So he figured out how to put it in Irish, but I cannot even pronounce that. It's like Anchiad Behail E Ile or something like that. I'm not even sure.
The only people who would be able to pronounce it or know what it means are from Ireland.
Yeah, well, I will just stick to the way that I wrote it because of the fact that I want people to be able to pronounce it. I don't put things that I can't even pronounce into my books. So, anyway, this is Scott and Melanie's um, house. And is this Scott and Melanie? I don't, no, it was Colleen or something. Oh, I'll have to look that one up. It's not Melanie. Melanie is the one that lives at the mansion with her Scott. It's a different Scott. But anyway, whatever. Anyway, Angel and Kathy. I know that for sure. Yes, Angel and Kathy. Anyways, same design house. Wait a minute. No, it's not flooded. It's just I thought that Angel's the captain. So like that one show could make. Oh, cool. Like that one show could make a floor have tennis balls and you're still walking solid. Yeah, that's what I came up with here. I'll show you my pirate magic. That's what we're walking on. But visually speaking, all you see is water. So anyway, he's supposed to be able to see the water back here. I mean, they're supposed to be able to see the water back here. No, that's the front door. Oh, no, they're supposed to be able to see the water back here. Okay. Anyway, I'm confused now. I'm fine, but I'm confused. Um, anyway, again, we have a lovely fireplace. And we have the kitchen. And this looks even more eerie than it did before. Okay, so, it looks like you're gonna go for a swim. Um, there's another pathway over here. Ah, right here. Okay, this is the pathway that leads to the mansion, and I will show you that in just a moment. Eventually, one of these days, when it gets around to letting me. Okay, so there is a clearing. Maybe not this big, but there's a clearing. And that's Sean's favorite tree. It's supposed to be a lot bigger tree, but I couldn't get it to go bigger. It was supposed to be like big like that tree. You know how it's really, really tall? Yeah. Anyway, this is the creek where the puppies were going to get wet, except for that Jesse calls them back with his whistle for his horse. Kind of like the one that uh, Carrie, aka Frog, um, Sally Field, gave in the movie The Smokey and the Bandit. So this is lit up. I cannot show you. Anyway, there's lava under there. So it's all nice and lit up and it's nice and everything. That's a horse infirmary, horse hospital. Um, there's a shed and oh, that's the shed. This is the doghouse. Normally, they wouldn't have a doghouse, but the doghouse has something really cool. Except for when it does that. See? But normally it would just be a doggy door. Like I said, shed. Uh, One of my books is going to have that the snowmobile got stuck in there and they really needed to get to town for some reason. And I don't know why. Oh, I think bad guys were there. Something like that. Anyway, the horse stable. And then, this is the mansion. This is what it's going to look like when I'm done on the other file. So this is the hospital. There's, well, actually, there's probably a little table right here too, but there's, bed, chair, bed, chair, I mean, chair, bed, chair, bed, chair, bed. So you can check on your loved ones and the lights turn off. I love that. This is Alan, the head doctor, and Kelly, his wife's room. And somewhere in here, there's a light that turns on. The laundry room, which probably needs to be bigger, but anyway. And then the exercise room, or the place where they sword fight when it's raining outside. Is that Ellen? Oh, that's Ellen and Kelly's room. Never mind. There's supposed to be two computers and stuff in there. Somebody's bedroom. Okay, this is Paige and Oliver's room. Oliver used to live in New York City, and Paige normally lives in New York City, but they decided they wanted to stay here, and her floor just happened to be pink. I mean, her carpet. This is Mick and Cammie's room. Mick is the kid that I was telling you about that's in the wheelchair, and his girlfriend Cammie didn't like him like that at first, but then she decided that she does. Why doesn't this go all the way over? I don't know. Weird. The kitchen turns off here. Okay. Except for right there where it's screwed up. Okay. And then the dining room with seemingly a million chairs. It's really only got 600 and something, but, or 500 and something. Well, it's only because I had 600 people. Not all of them had names, but there were 600 people, and, well, over 600 people. The ladies' room, hopefully I won't have to put that under the stairs or in that spot, the men's room. Hopefully I won't have to put it so under the stairs next time. You know, just like the other one, and it's got second, third, fourth, fifth floor. And why is there a hole in the world? Oh, because of the stairs, and we're gonna have to have a way to get up to the roof to repair it. Okay. Um, no, I will show you that. Okay, so that is uh Raphael and Pepper's room, I think. But they're upstairs, so I don't know. This is William and Kat's room. Oh no. Stupid computer moved itself again. Do I have that with me? No, of course not. Why would I have that with me? No. That's normally Morgan and Hayden's room, and again, the computer moved itself. Jonah and Caitlin's room. Jonah Pendragon's room. Which is weird because they like moved upstairs or their kids were upstairs, something like that in one of my dreams. Um anyway, those and sinks and tubs and showers. No. There. I was gonna say hopefully your shower doesn't back up like ours does and just collect the water. Um anyway, same thing. And then Sean and Ashley's room. So far, these rooms are like huge. Jesse and Chantel's room. William and Hayden's rooms. Um, William and Hayden Pendragon. If you remember correctly, Ashley's maiden name was Havelock. So this was originally Daisy's room, and then it becomes Daisy and Michael's room. Well, it has a stop in between where it's Daisy and Lily and Rose's room, and then Lily and Rose move upstairs at some point in time. And actually, shouldn't I turn these off the other way? Yeah. Yeah, shouldn't I have turned that one off and then come back and turn this one off? Anyway. And then we have the amazing expanding living room. Like it was a regular living room size when like when you just need to go outside, send the kid outside to get the newspaper, or when you're watching TV answering the door, but then when you need a big old party room, it's a big old party room. That's why I'm saying it that way. So we have couches over here. And we have a TV with fireplace TV stand with room for books or DVDs or Blu-rays. And an elevator. It works if you're in creative flight mode. So you can go up here. Then all of a sudden you're on the 5th floor. No, the 6th floor. This is the 5th floor. And you fall down to the 3rd floor? I don't know. Yeah, I think the third floor. Um, I don't know. Whatever floor that was. Anyway, I'm going to take myself back over to the movie theater because that's what we're working on. I need to know. Oh, the lounge chairs out in the yard. One of the books that I haven't come up with yet, I came up with part of it. You're probably wondering why I'm going this way to get to the movie theater, but I forgot about the gas station, the other gas station. Why is there a hole in my floor? Why is there a hole in my floor? Why is there a hole in my floor? I'm making up ugh, making up songs here. I don't know that there's actually a song. Why is there a hole in my floor? So, if you want to know the old cereal factory, oh, I was making it out of that before. And silos. Although now I got a better way to make them. Okay, so I don't know if I'm going to keep this. I do like the hanging. I do like the hanging. Uh, the hangingness of it, but I don't know if I want to keep it. Hmm. I don't know. Anyway, see, I started putting the electrical phone poles, whatever, here too. This is where I started putting them in. And this street has a lot of houses on it, but it doesn't have enough. You noticed in the other one, there's houses in every single plot, and that's Squibs helped me. So now that we've gone way over, huh? Started streaming this just a little after. Okay, I'm confused. I started streaming this a little after 8 o'clock because I screwed up and I was still putting in houses or something. And, in here, and then I went to there. Oh, that's why, that's why, that's why. Okay. Makes sense, never mind. What happened was I went and stopped and did the Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. That takes about an hour to get both of those together. And I did put in, finally, a commercial for my books, and to like, share, comment, subscribe, notification bell if you're watching me on YouTube, and follow, chat, and subscribe if you're watching me on Twitch right now. Um, yeah. Okay, so this I'm going to have to figure out real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, okay. So it's 15 across. Which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. That's 11. Yeah, okay. 15. Okay, so we'll figure that out. Does not help if you go back into the same file you were trying to get out of. Use Rails and Minecart to build the perfect, I don't know. A resource pack can change the textures of different blocks and entities. Really? Okay, 15. 15. 15. 15! Okay. Yeah, and if I had the block that I need, it would help. I think Scott's office was actually bigger than that, but anyway. So you would think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You would think that I don't know how tall this was. So we'll make it that tall. That'll work. Yeah. And then okay, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wait, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's what we had on the other side. Okay. Yeah, now that I've decided that, I have no idea what I was saying. I'm sorry. Okay. I was saying you would think, and I have no idea what I was. Yeah. No idea. Um. So, yeah. We're not going to continue this on screen. We're going to take a lot. We're going to take some of it out. Off screen. As soon as I finish that chapter in my book, and B, do some Dreamlight Valley. Because, like I said, I gotta go in there and feed the critters. I still don't understand the, um, how you could water flowers. Uh, because I think it only counts dried flowers, and those don't happen very often. So, like, I would have to maybe take a whole bunch of flowers and put them in the sunlit plateau so they're dried on purpose. And why would you word it dried flowers? It should be thirsty flowers. Um.
Flowers themselves dry out. If you don't water them, they'll dry out in the potpourri.
Anyway, so what I started to say earlier, it is that the timer's only saying 3 hours, and I'm like, how could that be? I've been on here since 8 o'clock, a little past 8 o'clock. Yeah, I stopped and did Fortune and Jeopardy, so that took up about an hour. So then, the rest of this time has been doing this. So, okay, so we didn't get any driveways done. I've been saying that we need to do the driveways for I don't know how long, and this is actually going to end up being water, so I think we can, part of it's going to end up being water. I need to figure out where the dang wall is. No, not that room. Yeah, that room. Okay, don't worry, I'm going to fix it. Wait. This is the wall. So if I go and put the wall in, yeah, okay, if I go and put the wall in, then I'll know where the wall needs to go. Like I said, I think I'm going to change that to a black wall instead of a white wall. I think it's just going to look better. Oh, this is the one where I don't know what's going on in it, actually. This is the one where it's going to be water. So, yeah, because it's part of the ocean. Yeah, she's got her yacht on the ocean, and they don't go anywhere. It's, basically a houseboat for her. Well, I mean, they do go somewhere on motorcycles. And, like, okay, so Morgan is, um, she's basically an orphan because when she was 7, her dad got, killed by pirates, and her mom, she was supposed to be catching up with them in Australia, and I, I, yeah, I think she got there, but somehow she got separated from the group and got taken away by pirates. Well, somebody was also there. I'm not going to ruin it because I think I've written that part. I'm not entirely sure. Into Finding Love. But like I said, I'm not sure I did that. I'm hoping I did, but I'm not sure. So anyway, and I just thought of that. My other question is, did I write my books to where I could actually uh lower, I mean, make the size of the book smaller and still only have 800 pages, or does it like come up with a different set of rules because it's a different size? I don't know. Because you're only supposed to have a certain amount of pages in the book, and that's 800, which I thought was nuts. That means that J.K. Rowling cannot necessarily publish with Amazon because she can only have her book be 800 pages. And I'm using her as an example because one of her books, I mean, at least one of her books, is over 1,000 pages, or at least it was in the copy that I had. So, I am going to end this stream. I just haven't done it yet. Okay. I'm back to a spot where I can work on it. I will either do some of the driveways while I'm off stream, or I will do some of or I will do them on the next stream. If I can get the next 2 chapters of my book done, then I will be like super happy. And the one chapter, it's almost done. I don't have to worry about it. It's got like 3 paragraphs left, I think, and it'll be fine. But I don't know how long chapter 20 is. I think it was pretty short too. But anyway, if I can get those 2 done, and this, and Dreamlight Valley, then I will be happy as a clam. Um, what is happy about a clam? I don't understand. But anyway, I mean, people eat clams, people get pearls from clams, but is a clam really happy? No idea. So anyway, I will see you in the next streamer video.